I like making big things. I mean, really big things, and it's a way of insisting on people paying attention.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honest about it. It is a way. I mean, I'm saying no. Look.
Right.
And I think knitting is behind on the quilting. The quilting has gotten very much respected. And people think, they know it's art when it's done by people who really know what they're doing, like you. But knitters don't make art. They make baby clothes. Different thing. And very useful and very functional, but usually prettier or cuter or nicer. And I don't make pretty, cute, or nice. So,
I don't.
I don't.
Well, I think some of your pieces are beautiful.
Some of them are beautiful. But they're usually.
That's not cute or pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think knitting has kind of been behind the quilters, and needs to be more grown up. Needs to take your example. In fact, one of the reasons I wanted you to come was because I thought you were so wild, and that you could show New Englanders
How to loosen up.
how to loosen up.
We've had that conversation.
Do it your way.
Doing it your way. Yeah, that's really
Do it your way.
when I first saw your quilts at the Whitney. I just flipped. I did. I just flipped. I just saw how important they were, and then. I have a friend who gave me a quilt, a New England quilt. Let me tell you, it is beautiful. Every stitch is perfect. It's a whole lot of circles and squares. It's so perfect. It's unbelievable. And it's a wonderful contrast to what you do, which says, I start here, and who knows where I will go. Who knows where I will go.
God knows it.
Yeah. And I think we're talking about culture here too, because I think the New Englanders got awfully set in their ways. We're kind of even famous for being a little prim. And a little, yes, we are. I don't think entirely fairly.
That was little all lot.
Yeah. And so to find knitters for me, I have to teach my knitters how to let go and to reach out and start to express themselves, because they don't know how to do that usually. They get good at it. I see some of them. Look at what Karen has. Yeah, that's one of hers.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And she has another.
Yeah, and you couldn't use cute. It's not
cute. It's not cute.
It's stunning.
And this one is Ethiopian.
You've noticed, I'm teaching this spiral thing today at class, but she'll use it in completely different ways than I'm going to teach it. She's going to take this and go running down the woods and make something different. The way you guys do. I mean, you don't tell them how to do it. They don't even know. In fact, I bet you some of them are uncomfortable because you don't tell them what to do. Yeah, and I just say, you know what I say? I say to them,
Live with it.
figure it out yourself. And that's what's exciting about trying to quilt the way you guys quilt, and the way knit the way I knit, and some other people knit, and all the other things that are happening around here. I think if you went to any class, you'd find innovative teaching, innovative stuff. It seems to be.
This year, it has really been about innovating. There's no pattern teaching at all, other than to make the shaker basket, which is a traditional craft to accomplish. But no, Catherine, that's been the biggest change this year is,
I cut these.
Here's the technique, now what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Little thing I crank.
Well,
Crank it through. No.
I think the word pattern comes from the Latin for father, patria, the fatherland. You're doing what the patriarchy tells you to do when you follow the pattern. Quit. Do it your way. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I really, really, really love that, just that way of saying it that you brought into my life. Just a simple way of saying it. Do it your way. Do it your way. And what I love the other night was just working China thought that the sewing machine was wonderful. I don't think Stella May really ever uses one or doesn't often. I mean, I love you're so different from each other.
Stella uses them, but Stella, she doesn't like to do a lot of work with her hands.
That's right. Stella likes to do more handwork. And the three of you don't march to the same drum at all.
That's right.
You're not going to be confused with another one.
Sometimes you disagree with one another.
Yeah, that's right. But we still keep going.
Well, I really hope we get you up again.
Yeah.
Because it's like we just put the foot in the water. Okay?
This has been just so awesome. Just
Yeah.
I took the 2-day class and I couldn't sleep either night. I was just like, bing, bing. I'd finally go to sleep and I'd roll over and wake up and it was like, oh, then I can do that and I can try this. Oh, I need to make one of these.
And that's how these women live.
I know. I was like, oh, I gotta go home and sleep.
That's great teaching. That's the real McCoy. That's really exciting.
Well, it's not just teaching, it's inspiring.
Yes.
You know what? You can't teach. You can teach technique, but you can't teach. You inspire. You inspire. You inspire. Yeah. And then sometimes they come back and they show you what you made, and you think, oh my God.
So, Katharine, if I may, with that idea, what are some of the most intelligent questions we can ask of women like Miss Mosley and Revel in China? What do we even begin to ask to keep a conversation going as opposed to stopping it in its tracks because the answer is the answer and move on?
I'm not dead sure. I think what you have to do is look at the work. Look at their work. And then if you don't know how something was done, you can ask, how was it done? I mean, was it cut or torn, or is there some special thread? But mostly look at what they did do.
Well, then let me ask if I may. Stella, one of the quilts that you made that I just love so much, the back was several different pieces of fabric. Okay. Did you do that just because you didn't have enough of one piece of fabric, or was it a deliberate design thought?
No, when I was quilting the quilt, I used 2 colors to start the lining. When I almost was at the end of the quilt, I didn't have enough lining. I had to take that and I had to take it from the frame and go find a color that would match, and I didn't have a color that would match. I said, well, I'm just going to put this on too. And I put it on and it worked.
So it's a pragmatic decision.
Yeah, just for the moment, you just use what you got.
And do you ever look at it after and say, wow, that worked?
I said, well, this is okay. It worked out anyway. That's when I'm talking to my quilt. That's late at night. It's at night and I figure that out and I'm talking to it. I said, that's worked. Good. Maybe I could do that again if I need to.
And then she goes on. Otherwise, really, the truth of it is, you can't look at what they do and say, now I'll do that and it will work. No, it won't. Right. You can't do that.
Now that's true. What she's saying now, when I got almost to the end of this quilt and look, I can't just take this off the frame. It won't work. I got to come up with a solution. You just don't cut it in the way you... Sometimes when it don't work, I go to bed and sleep at night. Oh, I got an idea. It may be early morning, I may be interrupting people, but I noticed that the people that next door, I don't know if they hear me up, but I usually see the lights goes on sometime early in the morning. And I said, okay, I'm not up alone.
Do you always solution your problems, challenges, whatever, by yourself? Or do you sometimes pick up the telephone and call Revel and say, what do I do here?
Well, I would answer that no, because Reba wouldn't have an idea what I'm doing. He wouldn't have a clue what I'm doing.
Astrid, you are asking a question that shows the long history of being told how to do things and our believing that we could be told how to do things correctly and are following instructions and repeating boring things. You can't do innovative, wonderful work except by asking yourself.
Right.
And often in the middle of the night, and sometimes it takes 4 nights. Yeah.
But you're not just going to put something on there unless you're happy with it. So you might have run short and needed to find another piece, but you're not just going to pick up the
Any piece. No.
It still has to feel right.
You gotta talk to me, tell me something.
It's gotta work.
You gotta speak back to me. That's our secret. You gotta tell me something. When I shut up, the quilt shut. He stopped talking to me.
You have to be all through the work your own critic, your own judge. You say, oh, I'm doing this. Oh. All the time you dialogue. As you said, Stella, it's talking to you. All the time the piece talks to you, and you talk to the piece.
Right.
And Stella just said, and when it stops talking, it's done.
Nothing would be said or repeated.
And you know, in some ways, it may not be wonderful. It may not be perfect.
Right.
But it's done. It's done. And then you go on to the next piece with everything that you learned in that last piece.
Right. Well, now with me, I may have just done a whole quilt, and the top of it I may come out with the same color. It would be different. It would have the same color, but I don't know if I can repeat the pattern if I tried or not, but it would be different. Unless I was doing a pattern quilt that I'm just like at 4, 8, 12, 16.
That's different. That's different. That's different. But that's not what we're talking about. That's not.
Now, do you work on one project from start to finish, or are you like many of us where you have several things?
Well, most time I would go from start to finish, but sometimes I may have 4 or 5 other starts, but I would finish that one. Because when I'm doing the quilt, I may get 3 or 4 more ideas, and I go start and put this over to later. I come back and I finish what
We don't know what you're talking about.
If I start, don't like for instance, we started with the quilt in here. I may get half of this in one of those quilts that we laid out. And I get a new idea. I stop. I go, I'm going to be honest, I got 3 or 4 boxes of stuff here, 3 or 4 here, and I'm just pulling from back. I made this idea in my mind. I may set up about 3 or 4 different quilts. Get it started, then I come back and finish what I had because I want that finished. That's the product.
If you once you start a piece, I think it's terribly important to complete it.
I've completed.
Yeah.
For instance, just like when I got started.
I mean, a lot of people are making pieces. A lot of knitters. There are a lot of unfinished sweaters in the bottom drawers, and they're never going to be finished. Right. In a sense, if you finish it, then you know how bad it is. Or how good it is. But till you finish it, you don't really know.
Right. But now with me, I have quilts, a lot of quilts that need to be quilted, but I'm not ready for those yet.
That's right.
I'm getting new ideas and I'm finishing those quilts and quilting what I have.
I don't mean that you don't do that. I just mean that you don't have 100 quilts that are not finished, that you will never finish.
Maybe 100 not finished, but
they
will be.
They will be. She's younger than I am.
God willing, you live long.
All those ideas keep popping up, and they got to be dealt with. So it just might be the 100.
But you're always finishing.
But I'm finishing I'm finishing.
I think it's the interest level, don't you think? It's the love that you have for it. If you don't have love for it, it sits in the bottom of the drawer.
I think there's something else too. I think sometimes you have fear. You say,
Right.
you start the piece and you look at the piece. I remember a coat, and I looked at it and I was near the end and it looked like sick chocolate pudding. And I thought, Lord, this is no good. And then I said, no, finish the bastard. finish it. And I did finish it, and I put it up on the wall, and it's a very good piece. But if I had not finished it, my own lack of confidence there near the end would have defeated me.
Right.
And you can't let that happen. You have to encourage yourself to have confidence that you are working with every ounce of that you got.
Before Anthony, I started with my son's shirt. Okay, I was looking at the design in the back. It's looked like a kind of African-like picture with me. Okay, I looked at it. The back is a kind of picture frame-like shirt, but it's a house top. That's my grandson. Then I look up and here's the button in the front. I can't throw it that way. I'm getting a new idea. Okay, so I put it in the picture frame form. But now, it's quilted and ready now. But I left the button open. When he goes somewhere, my son can take all that precious stuff, put it inside, button it up, put it on the bed. Morning, he takes it out. Then I looked around. I saw a red piece of soccer balls on it, and I got another one I'm doing. Okay, this soccer ball. What can I do?
Gotta have that.
I took the center, cut the soccer ball, took 4 triangles, put it in the center.
Yeah.
And then I went around the house top, little soccer ball piece at the end. I did the project, I quilted, but when I go back home, I just got this shiny little binder. Then I look around, I said, oh, okay, get a uniform quilt. I made it a while. I quilted that. It's ready, just got she's standing around. I had to stop those ideas. I said, stop.
She's on a run. She's on a real run. If she doesn't stop herself, it'll be dangerous.
She'll never sleep.
Yeah, you'll never sleep.
That's right. I get up late at night and go to sleep late.
Wonderful.
Okay, let me leave some room for them. Sorry.
Do you do that? Do you do more than one at a time? Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
And you do China, don't you?
Yes. 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
7 or
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
I like to have what I call the whale and the pilot fish. The whale is one of them took 7 years, and then I do the pilot fish at the same time. So you do.
Yeah. That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. The big one is
They can't all be
constant.
whales.
And you don't even carry it around. Actually, it's in the studio and it's worked on. And the boat did take 7 years. It did have little things in. You know, I made some good coats. I did some other stuff in between. Fun to love what we do.
Yes.
Could we talk a little bit about, tell us about the space that you work in. Do you have dedicated studio? Do you work on the board? How does that, do you leave all of your works out where you can see them all, or do they go in boxes?
In my home, I don't have no space. 'Cause I'm living in a mobile home.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you know, I just put it up in my kitchen. And when my husband will get there, he don't want to be buttoned against no horses. You saw how my house was made.
Yeah. I'd like you to describe it a little bit to them.
What'd you say now?
I'd like you to tell everybody a little bit, because we here get real hung up on having a beautiful studio space, all right? A lot of times people say, I can't do good work because I don't have space.
Well, when I put my quilt up, what I do, I get another quilt and I put it on top. Because my husband sometimes, he walking through there with cough or something. I don't want nothing to waste on my quilt because I don't want no spot on it. So what I did, I decided to stop putting my quilt up at home in my kitchen. I'm starting going up to the collection. You went up there to the quilting collection where we keep our quilt.
Yeah,
I go up there and put my quilt up.
Because it's safer there.
It's safer and more space.
Yeah.
I go up there and quilt where my ran be. So, but you know, another day, if my quilt was being at home, I could get up 2 o'clock. I could go to bed 1 o'clock. I can always, when I wake up, I could go quilt when I get ready. But now I can't do it. I got to go up there to the collection. And,
that's a problem.
You know, and then at a certain time, I got to get up and go home and cook for my husband.
That's a problem.
It's a problem. But I'll be doing a lot of ribbon and running, but nothing gonna stop me from my quilting. I love quilting and I love piecing and making quilt. So what I do now when I make my quilt, I set my machine up on my dining room table and I tell my husband, he loves the yard work and I do the inside work. And don't mess with my machine or nothing. I just leave it, leave everything spread out like I put it. So when I get ready to sew, I can go and sit down, you know, and sew when I want to sew. But you know, if I leave it up there to the collecting, you know, I got to be carrying the machine here, carrying it that.
It's not a good situation, actually.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It'd be wonderful if you could have just a one room annex to the mobile home.
No, but you know, I have 4 bedrooms, but you know, they are small bedrooms.
Yeah.
You know, and my daughter tell me, Mama, don't you go in my room messing with that. And she living in Huntsville. She buy her own home up there in Huntsville, and she gonna tell me what to do in my house. Mama, don't you go in my room moving this.
You know, you got to try to stand up. It's hard to get out of that room.
You ain't got to worry. Trying to stand up. And I go back there in her room and I sleep when everybody get ready.
Yeah. Because you need room.
You need room for space, you know. With a lot of material and things I be getting now, you know. I've had to put my material, you know, on beds and in closets, you know.
Well, it's like Stella May, you do things at night. You wake up
now let me give you my space, okay?
Yeah.
I love to sit on the front of my house. This room, but it's crowded in the back. I'm right in my, let me give you a good one. Here's my kitchen right here. Here's my living room. My sofa for everybody else is right over on this wall. And here's a little love seat and space back here. Think about the love seat. And I have the small frame, and I've learned to put the large put on the small frame. They claim they can't do it, but I've talked to those frames. I told them I'm putting my quit on you. And I quit. And my frame about that wide, long, and about this wide. I put them on and I sit my quilt there. Well, I was sitting on the love seat to quilt. And I was talking to Miss Moses. She didn't tell me why. She said, you just keep sitting on that love seat. And I kept sitting, I quit. My back was so tired. She said, keep sitting there. So I learned to get me a chair, put a pillow, and I sit on there and I just quit when I get ready. My son, the little walkway, he can walk right around past and go down the hall in the bedroom and bathroom. And they sit on the sofa and I have my little spot. It's not much, but I put stuff under there. And in the back in the little bay, when my company come home, they say, what is all of that? I sell a little bit of everything I want. But it's crap, but I love that little space sitting there. You know, but my son said a long time with his niece, and she was saying, he was complaining that she was playing in the living room, and she said, what did it say? He said, living room. She said, well, I'm living in this room. So now, I love my living room. It's cluttered, and right now, I'm glad I need to put a rug on the floor. It's all torn up and messy. Maybe I can get one and put on there, but I just love it. Not much space, but I make the best of it.
And so if you're working on 5 quilts, where do they go while you're not working on them?
Up top, some of the stuff piled and folded. It was in that box.
Yep.
I put mine in different closets.
And bags are real good.
Yep. Yep.
I dream of getting my junk house. I've been dreaming for years, but I have not got the funds to get it. I have the faith. I'm gonna get it. You know, when I say faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, I don't see my junk house, but I believe I'm gonna get it.
Well, if it were a perfect space, what would it look like?
A large room like this tent where I can have this side and all of my stuff lying around. The center will be clear so I can use it. But all of my stuff probably stacked from the ceiling down, but all the way around.
When I was
but you know exactly what you want.
Yes, and where to find it. I can write on the box or put a little label there.
Yeah.
And I will keep the side that I'm working on clear, and I can have the floor to measure.
Doesn't that sound like a Kiva project?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have to talk about that. There are ways to make that happen.
And how about you? What space would you have?
I have a place for my quilt. I got a room now. Upstairs. Well, I'll quilt up there, I'll sew up there, and then, like it's hot, I come out on the porch. I got a front porch and a side porch. In the morning,
one porch?
Yes, ma'am.
And the other one?
Right, right. And don't ask me how many quilts I've started on, because I will not remember. I can't. I thought I'd go a certain distance. Mine leave there. And then you put out some more pieces. And when I cut enough to make the whole quilt, but my mind go from that to
something else. Right.
It just be traveling.
Yeah.
And I make this, I make that, and one called me, Mom, well, I want me a duck foot in the mud. Oh, Lord, I got to stop this, go cut out that, and try to make that. First day is up top of first day, and every month in the year, everybody born in the month, everybody want a quilt for birthday. They just jealous.
Yeah, they're bad on that.
Yes,
it's hard
ma'am.
to keep up with all those birthdays.
It is.
It's just a nightmare.
And Lord, I miss my next little son's birthday this year.
You said he called you.
He called me
and said, Mama,
Mama, you forgot what yesterday was. I said, yesterday was Wednesday. He said, Mama, you sure you forgot? I said, I know yesterday was Wednesday. Mama, that was my birthday. You didn't call and say happy birthday. I said, babe, I'm just so sorry. I'm sorry. But your mama have to work. You know I get up working. I'm working. I'm doing something all through the day. And when night comes and I get my shower, I'm ready to lay down and relax.
And you know, they don't wait till they're old.
That's what I told you.
You just wait.
But honey, he called me and tell me now, Mama, I can't do what you do. I know you can.
That's right.
I said, but you could do better than what you do, man.
Yeah.
He's the cook. He the one that he bags him up with that. I don't have to worry about that.
No.
He will cook anything I want when he come home. He said, Mama, I'm getting in the kitchen. You and I gonna cook.
That's fun to have a son that cooks.
Yes, ma'am.
I love my son's cooking too.
My baby son, he's cooked too, because his wife, she said she can't even cook oatmeal as a baby.
What I think is fun is when your kids cook better than you do.
Yeah.
Because then you can just say, please cook.
Yes.
And they don't mind. And they don't
My
mind.
daughter, though, she told me, Mama, get out the kitchen. I told her, no way, I'm not going. I got to be in the kitchen. Mama, get out the kitchen. I'll hammer. I got to watch you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, she cooks real good, but I have to watch it because I don't want too much of this, and I'll be telling her, you know, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. Mama, you could taste it. I said, I'm ready to stay here. I'm not ready to go yet.
I have got to go and teach a class.
And so do the ladies.
I enjoyed you.
Oh, we enjoyed it. I have enjoyed you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
What's that?
Okay. I believe so.
Yeah.
Who is that? Is she going to be in the class? Because I will find out. Sure.
You gotta put this back in.
I probably, China, won't see you before you leave, but thank you so much. I have really been honored by your being here. It really matters.
Every last one of them.